Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Major Investor. And as we talked about before, with the with everything that's going on with SHIB and where we are today. Today is a milestone for those that are within the witching hour. The 50-day moving average crossed the 200-day moving average, which they call it the dead cross. Okay, what does that mean? Well, it depends on where you stand. If you look at BTC's up 80%. It went from 18,000 to over 31,000, and it's back down to 27,000. So if you do the math on it, it's down about 7 to 8%, whereas SHIB is back down to where it was a year ago. So if you look at that and you say, well, where does that put things in perspective? Well, you guys, everybody's not paying attention to what's going on with SHIB. And that's why I'm making these videos, is because of what's being put out there isn't necessarily what's being corresponded in what's going on with SHIB. So without further ado, we'll get into today's session. And today's session is going to be about the SHIB challenge. Now, everybody wants to see more and more burns, but more and more burns doesn't necessarily mean higher and higher gains. It should, but it's not. It's not being reflected at all. Last year, it took us a whole year to burn 81 billion tokens. This year, in 3 months, we've burned over 270 trillion tokens. We burned, not trillion, sorry, billion. Over 270 billion tokens have been burned since March. Now, March, April, May, this is May, and we're not through May yet. And we have 2 tokens right now that are burning SHIB on a grand scale. They are Blaze and Koi. And I have no problem telling you who they are because they're promoting the burn portal for SHIB. Now, when they stop burning SHIB or liquidating or reducing or exterminating or limiting the supply of SHIB, I'll stop covering them. But for now, they are doing exactly what they're told to do. No one has catched on to what's going on with SHIB because if they did, they wouldn't do this. But anyway, without further ado, we'll get right into today's session. And thank you so much for tuning in. And we're going to do some welcoming. And we are live! This is another edition of Major Investor, and I'm Will, your host, and I'm love to see everybody out there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to everybody that's out there in the world. And I want to just thank you for tuning in and coming in and spending some time with us and taking some time out of your busy schedule to make sure that we all get heard. And that's the number one thing we all want. So we all want more burns. Everybody wants more burns. But what happens is when you get more burns, nothing happens. So I have a projection that I said I wouldn't do, but because there's more and more burns going on and people aren't paying attention, we've burned over 270 billion coins in the last 3 months. We only burned 81 billion in the last year. The token went up and down, but people aren't aware of the burns and what the burns actually mean. So what we're going to talk about is why is there an increase in burn ratios and there's nobody paying attention. So here's your bottom line. 589,352,972,192,875 tokens right now. And we're down on the burn rate because it goes by the 24-hour clock that was set up just a few minutes ago. So if we look at this, 21 hours ago we burned 18 million from this wallet. Now, who's this wallet? You tell me. You give me a projection, there's your projection. So no one's paying attention. I guarantee you no one's paying attention because It's not reflected in the price. Again, this is from Blaze, part of Levy. Levy and Blaze are working strongly to exterminate the SHIB supply. And they're doing a very good job because they've limited their coins by 7 billion. And they only started off with trillion coins. So that's awesome that they're able to burn that much in a short period of time and drive their coin up as well as SHIB. So that gets 100% all of our attention, and it should. And we strongly support anyone burning it. And anyone burning it means that they're solidifying themselves in the marketplace as well. Because once you burn SHIB, you're increasing the demand. Now, right now it's not reflected in the price, but again, because people aren't paying attention to what's going on, they're more interested in somebody telling them, sell it, it's going to zero. They're more interested in that than listening to and watching the facts. The facts are, this number used to be over 3, this used to be over 6 before they even started with Shibarium and the projects. And we've reduced it by how much? It was over 610 billion people. And now it's 357. So if you do the math on it, that's over 270 billion tokens been burnt in just 3 months. 3 months, and nobody's caught on to it. If they did, they would be looking at getting more tokens because they're going to be fearful they're not going to be able to buy anymore eventually, because people are going to start putting in, not selling their tokens until it reaches a certain value, and they'll be all right for it, because right now we have about 20% of the total marketplace that is using it to trade it. So once that supply is turfed or gone, then the holders set the pace for the rest of it. So if they're selling it at 12, 14, 16, it's on them that are selling it at that price. Even though the burns are starting to catch up to what people are doing and limiting the amount of tokens that are in supply. As they get closer to their set goals, they'll be liquidating even more. And this is why it's so important that you guys understand this, because there's exchanges out there that are looking at this on a daily basis. Now, if they start doing this, you're going to see an astronomical climb very rapidly, very fast. Like I said before, Japan and US are in deep, deep trouble. But there's other countries out there that could get even bigger, faster, that are smarter than they are. And if they caught on to this, they would be instantly overwhelmed with the fact that they could reduce the supply of SHIB in a heartbeat by buying it all, and only costing them about $8 to $9 billion to do it. And that's a fact. Because of what's going on with the burns, people just don't get it. So they would buy it, and why would they burn it? Drive the price up. Because once that's gone, once that supply is gone, they can do whatever they like. And they can put the price at whatever they like. So for me, if I saw a 99.99% burn, what do you think my price target would be on SHIB? It wouldn't be $1. It wouldn't be $2. We're talking hundreds of dollars, even thousands of dollars, because there's no supply. And here's the best part of everything that's going on with SHIB. Instead of paying the tax man 50% of your capital gains, you pay back the SHIB in a form of a loss, a capital loss. So you give them 50% of it, you burn 50% of your holdings. Guess what? You've helped the community, you've helped yourself, because now you don't have to pay the tax man, and you've helped the whole community of SHIB, the people who helped you get there, you're giving back to them. So you're burning the supply, increasing the price. So therefore, it's a win-win situation. So the more people that are catching on to this, the less they're going to have to pay in taxes, granted, and the more it's going to drive the price of SHIB up. Again, you have to understand economics. If you don't understand economics, I don't know why you're in SHIB in the first place. But SHIB is the way, and that is why. And thank you so much for tuning in, and God bless each and every one of you, and I wish you all the very best. God bless you wherever you are in the world. Take good care. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And that's my 2 cents worth. The disclaimer, I'll tell you the disclaimer right now. Right now, this isn't legal advice. No one is going to give you investor advice on what you should or shouldn't buy, especially if it's below 1 penny. And that's the truth. And this is well below 1 penny. This is extreme risk for all those for all those involved in SHIB. And we want to give a big shout out to Koi. Thank you so much for your support, and we look forward to supporting you in the future. Same thing with Blaze. Thank you so much, Blaze Token and Levy, for providing everything that you can and everything that you're doing for SHIB. That's amazing, and we support you 110%. The SHIB Burn Portal, we look forward to seeing this number get reduced every week. 5,000. If 5,000 do what Koi and Blaze are doing, we could see burns well above 5 to 10 trillion coins a week, people. 5 to 10 trillion coins a week. If the price were to remain the same right now, which it looks like it is, because people just crazy, don't understand what's going on, that would mean a huge reduction. Within less than a year, we could see SHIB skyrocketed to 10 to 15 to 20 to $30 very quickly, very fast, as the supply depreciates. And yes, we would become bigger than Bitcoin, bigger than Ethereum. And the only reason why we would do this is because we're going backwards. We're not going forwards, we're going backwards. We're reducing the coins. And as we reduce, the more value you become. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I wish you all the very best. God bless each and every one of you. And Jesus loves you. Live long and prosper, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Cheers.